Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet the eyelet scarf. This scarf is an easy 2-row repeat, works up really fast, would also be a perfect stitch for a blanket. For this project I am using a 5.5mm crochet hook and some of the Red Heart Roll With It sparkle yarn. This has 561 yards. I used an entire cake for this project, and I will put the measurements of this scarf down below in the description box, so check that out. This colorway happens to be called Cactus Flower. It is 97% acrylic and 3% other, which is that sparkle strand that runs through. But for this project you can use any type of yarn that you'd like, as well as any corresponding hook that goes well or that you're comfortable with using, and you can make this project as big or as small as you want. Without further ado, let's crochet the eyelet scarf. To start, we're going to put a slip knot onto our hook, and you're going to want to chain a multiple of 2. So any multiple of 2, just chain 2, 2, 2, 2 until you get a length that you want for your scarf or whatever project you're making with this pattern. For this sample I chained 16. I'm going to add one more chain, so you want a multiple of 2 plus 1, and then you're going to add on 3 additional chains for the turning chain. So again, the multiple is 2 plus 1, and then you're going to add 3 at the end to create that turning chain. For row 1, you're going to work 3 double crochets together, starting by working a double crochet into the 4th chain away from the hook. So you yarn over, find that 4th chain away from the hook, and work half a double crochet. So yarn over, pull back through 2 and stop. Into the next stitch, work your next double crochet or half of it. So you yarn over and stop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to do this one more time. Yarn over, put your hook into the next chain, drop a loop, yarn over back through 2 for half a double crochet. Now you've got your 4 loops on your hook. At this point you're going to yarn over and pull back through all 4. And you have just done a double crochet 3 together stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, and into that last chain that we worked our last double crochet out of, we're going to do the same 3 double crochet together. So put your hook in that same chain, don't go to the next one, work in that same chain, put your hook in, draw up a loop, pull back through 2. Find the next chain, yarn over, put your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, back through 2, stop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to do this one more time. For our 3rd double crochet, so into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, back through 2. We now have 4 loops on our hook. We can yarn over, pull back through everything, chain 2. Don't skip any stitches on your foundation chain. We're going to work another 3 double crochet together, so yarn over into that same chain that we worked our last stitch out of. We're going to work that half of a double crochet, so back through 2, yarn over, next chain, put your hook in, pull up a loop, yarn over, back through 2, one more time, yarn over, next chain, pull up a loop, back through 2, and now we have our 4 loops on our hook. We can yarn over and pull back through everything. We're going to chain 2, and this is the repeat for the entire row 1, working off of your foundation chain. You never want to skip any chains. We're going to work into every single chain on our foundation chain. We're going to chain 2, yarn over, work into that last chain that we worked out of, pull up a loop, back through 2, yarn over, find the next chain, put your hook in, yarn over, back through 2, one more time, into the next chain, back through 2. We have 4 loops on our hook. We can yarn over, back through everything, and chain 2. And again, into that same stitch, drop a loop, back through 2, into the next, back through 2, and one more time, into the next chain, and yarn over, back through everything, chain 2. I'm going to keep doing this till I get to the end. Into that same one, back through 2, into the next, back through 2, one more time, and back through everything, chain 2. I have 2 chains left, so I'm going to go ahead, work into that same stitch, the same pattern that we've been doing, into the next chain, and into that last chain, yarn over, got 4, so I can yarn over, back through everything. At this point, once you've worked into that last chain, you're going to chain 1 and just end with 1 double crochet into that last chain. And that is row 1, the most complicated row of this entire pattern, only because you're working out of that foundation chain row. So let's start row 2. We're going to start with a chain 3 and turn. Row 2 always starts with a chain 3. Into that first space, we're going to work a double crochet. Find your next space and work 2 double crochets. Next space, 2 double crochets into that space. So each space, besides that first space, because our chain 3 will count as a double crochet, that first space gets 1 double crochet, so there's our pair. Each space has a pair of double crochets, so you just find that chain 2 space and work 2 double crochets into it. Row 2 goes super quick, just working those double crochets into the space. At the end, you've got that space right on the end, so find what would be like the first double crochet from row 1, which was actually our turning chain. In between that and your first 3 double crochet together, you're going to work your 2 double crochets. So just put your hook in and work those 2 double crochets right into that space on the end. And that is how easy row 2 is. For row 3, we're going to chain 4. So row 3 always starts with a chain 4. Row 2 always starts with a chain 3. And what we're going to do is work into each stitch again. We're going to start in the base, that first stitch, so the base of where we just chained out of, and that's going to be the start of our 3 double crochets together. So you just want to work half of a double crochet into that stitch, find the next stitch, work half of a double crochet into that stitch, and one more. Now you've got 4 loops on your hook, same thing as we did for row 1. We're going to go through all 4 and chain 2. We're always going to work our first of those 3 together into the last stitch that we worked out of. So always go right back into it for that first stitch. Find the next stitch and the next. Once you have your 4 loops, you can yarn over, go back through everything, and chain 2. And that is row 3. You're just going to work that same sort of pattern that we did for row 1 for row 3, those 3 together. The hardest part is remembering to always work that first stitch into the last stitch that you just worked out of. You never want to skip anything, any stitches, either from the foundation row or in row 3. You want to work into each stitch. Row 2, much simpler, we're working into the spaces. So I'm going to continue this row 3 pattern all the way down for row 3. Chain 2 in between, and then go right back into that last stitch that we worked out of and work your 3 double crochets together. Chain 2, do it all over again. Chain 2. You have 3 stitches. That turning chain top does count, so 1, 2, 3, and then here's where we just worked out of. So when you have 3 left, you're going to work the 3 double crochets together back in that same chain or stitch that you just worked out of, going over again. Once you have 4, you can yarn over, pull back through everything. So now you've just got that turning chain left. To finish the row, we're going to chain 1 and work a double crochet into the top of that turning chain. And that completes row 3. So it's a really nice eyelet kind of pattern. Once you get the hang of working row 2 and 3 repeated over and over, this pattern works up super quick. I've worked up almost an entire cake of that Roll With It sparkle. I believe it had like 560 yards, and I have a very decent size scarf. Once you reach your desired length, you can fasten off. Now I have finished on row 3, but really if you end on row 2, that is perfectly fine as well. So I'm going to go ahead, cut my yarn. I will weave that in after this video. So here is where I started. You can see how that eyelet pattern really makes this a little bit more elegant and yet still very warm and durable, and it's a really nice stitch. Would also be really nice for blankets as well. The Roll With It sparkle is absolutely beautiful. Look at all of those colors. The transition between those colors. And again, with this stitch pattern, it really makes for a nice finished project. Now you can go ahead and add fringe if that's something that you like to do. You could also join the 2 ends to create a cowl or something more like an infinity scarf that you can wrap around your neck instead of having 2 ends as you do in a traditional scarf. And like I said before, the stitch also makes a wonderful blanket pattern. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. And until next time, happy crocheting, everyone. Bye!